2 weeks that seemed like an eternity have just come to an end, and I think we won so many games around here. I was thinking about this earlier in the year. I was trying to remember the last time we lost 2 games back to back, and it's been a while, and you're just not used to that feeling. You're not used to it, and I don't want our kids to ever get used to it. And I thought this week they handled their business. Tuesday, kind of talked about it on Sunday to make the corrections, move forward. Jump into Monday's overtime. Guys, we don't meet on Monday, but guys come in on their own. And Tuesday was going to be our first work day to work through the week. I thought they had a really good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then to come out and compete the way they did today was very, very special. I thought a lot of guys stepped up, but our senior leadership, I can't say enough about that. I can't say enough about my staff. The more I'm in this business, the more I realize that when things start to go against you, how hard it is to bring it back. And I thought our coaches took the leadership and kind of demonstrated how to do it, and our kids really took the bit and followed. So it's good to be back on track. So this week's all about the axe. It's all about an opportunity to go on the road, do something that we haven't been able to do in our last 2 opportunities, to win a Big Ten game on the road. But as we all know, this is the longest rivalry in college football. It's against a team that's playing very, very good. I didn't get to see their game today, but obviously played their tails off at Michigan State in a very difficult environment. So a tremendous challenge in front of us, and one I know we're excited to go into.
Brett, how did within coming back this week, your offensive lineman talked about the need to do some things. Monty talked about the need to play better. Did you feel coming into the game they were ready, and is it safe to say you like what you saw?
I did. 2 things, Jeff. I thought, give a lot of credit to Purdue. I thought their defensive line, what I saw in film, was a very, very good defensive front. They have a couple of linebackers that are very, very good players, so I knew we were going to be challenged. But as is the case, we don't really talk about anything other than what we need to do. And I thought they handled themselves real well during the course of the week, and they have a tremendous amount of pride, and they were able to bounce back.
Right, it's one thing to have a home field advantage, but you guys have been so dominating at home. What has all gone into that?
Well, I think first off, give great credit to our fans. As fans of college football, I've heard from so many people over the last 2 weeks, and not out in public much, during the season, but the Mendota Gridiron Club meeting on Wednesday night, and see people in and out of the athletic department. Just so many positive things said about who and what we are. I think that's why today they were obviously out there in great support, and I think that our kids really feed off of that. Now we have to understand you have to take that exact same mentality on the road in a hostile environment in Minnesota.
You've seen some good tailbacks since you came here in 04. Is Monty playing at as high a level as anyone since you've been?
Just from a complete standpoint, I mean, obviously the rushing numbers, Jeff, are there, but Monty's complete nature, his ability to be a pass pro when he needs to, his ability to catch the ball, that you've seen during the course of the season, and just his mentality. He's wired in a way right now where he expects success on every play, and he's extremely physical.
Did you evaluate the kickoff coverage issue?
You can probably evaluate that. We knew that Phil was going to be back with us this week, and they were doing a nice job of they had 2 basic returns, one into the boundary and one to the big field. Again, kind of like the last kick a week ago, missed tackles kill you. You just can't have missed tackles on kickoff coverage. And so I think we're going to have to A, evaluate our personnel, and then B, also what we're doing with our alignments and our coverage rules.
What happened on their first touchdown?
You know what? I'll just say that there was a bust in the coverage. Sheldon knew it right away. So the great news is he had a good look in his eye when he came back. I believe the next time they came back, the ball was it was broken up, and then it was kind of a bam-bam. They completed it, but on the exact same play, he was right there. So he came back really well. I thought Des Southward, we lost Aaron during the game, and Des and Shelton had to go from playing strong safety to free safety, and Des came in off the bench, and I thought those 2 guys handled the game really, really well. Aaron is negative on the x-rays, and he thinks he's going to be able to go on Tuesday's practice. I doubt very much if he's not ready to do it.
Cromartie has been tested, obviously, for a couple plays today, the back shoulder thing, and then the pick. Did he respond as he needed?
I challenged him. I think our coaches challenged him. I think he'd be the first to tell you that he maybe became a little bit complacent in his prep and how he needed to handle his business. So we really challenged him this week. I thought Chris made some great points with him during the course of the week to play with confidence, and he responded very, very well today.
You talked about the kickoff coverage. Were you surprised at all that fans were booing after the second kickoff return from them, or is it just kind of a level of expectation?
No, I mean, I'm personally not a fan of any fan booing, but obviously, I understand if they don't like what they see. But the biggest thing we have to be able to do is correct what's going on.
How do you think Welch did on the kickoffs, and then what do you think that field goal at the end of the half did for you?
Well, I knew Phil actually, I saw him hit one from 64, 65 in pregame warm-ups going that direction. There's a strong wind in there. So I basically, when our offense was taking the field, I said, hey, we get to the 40, 45-yard line, I'm going to let him take a swing. And Phil's feeling very confident. I wanted to give Kyle that swing at the end there, because I was a little bit worried about our protection. And Phil, we'd made a decision to take Phil out of the game because I think he'd had 5 or 6 kickoff coverage, including the field goals. We just didn't want to zap him for the future weeks. So I'm very happy with Phil. I think he feels very, very confident.
I don't know if this gets lost in the shuffle, but it's 14-7 after the second kickoff, and they had that third down play. Finalis makes a play on the open field.
Holding a field goal. I think that's a very, very good point. I thought so at the time. Our defense has a philosophy, no matter what the situation is, put the ball down. And our guys responded very, very well there. And I know they wanted to block the field goal, to be quite honest. I felt we had a good scheme there, and unfortunately came up a bit short.
The other defensive moment was after the sudden change, coming back with the turnover after that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We went kind of a hurry-up QB sneak and went away to that challenge. So I know our defensive coaches were barking at our guys, hey, I want to take the field. We weren't hoping. Our defense was yelling, I hope they don't overturn it. They wanted to take the field and prove they could do it. I'm honestly good. They were screaming and yelling that I wasn't going to veto that, but I liked the attitude. I was kind of hoping they overturned it, to be quite honest. But, yeah, I thought that was a play, too, that, they talked about on the sidelines, made some adjustments, knew that play was going to be coming, and a great effort on the breakup. And then I think that was one Mike, right, jumped from wherever to get it down. So him and Chris both, I gave Boylan some heat because he couldn't get in the end zone down there in the backed up situation.
What's the status of Bryce Gilbert?
Bryce, I think it was Tuesday. He just got a high ankle sprain. I think he'll be back, if not this week, the week after.
You mentioned the tough task of turning things around after 2 tough losses. Was there any concern about things snowballing?
No, not from my standpoint, but I thought our guys had a great looking around. And again, it goes to leadership. As a man, I gave him a quote the other day that, a man, his first challenge when he faces adversity, introduce yourself a man introduces himself to adversity. That's what it's all about, and you get these situations. And I thought our kids really responded very, very well. They practiced extremely hard, and I knew they wouldn't flinch. But also, on the same account, Purdue, we're tied with them in our division before this game, and they've been able to they beat a very good Illinois team and played well with Michigan, through 3 quarters. So I knew it was going to be a tremendous challenge.
What ran through your mind when you saw the first kickoff break and then the second? What are you thinking at that time?
That I have to come in and answer these questions repeatedly. I mean, we got to get it corrected. There's I think a big emphasis on personnel. We're so banged up right now on the defense side of the ball, and we lose our depth, and it gets difficult.
I don't know if you saw the Big Ten scores today. A couple of favorites lost, a couple.
I just heard of Nebraska.
Were close.
Yeah.
What do you make of the race?
Well, in the Big Ten, I think anybody can get anybody on any given Saturday. It really is. And it's a game of momentum. I think a lot of it, I was talking with Danny before the game. For teams like us, we have very good football players. It's just a lot of times we lack depth. It's kind of a chain reaction when you lose a player at one position. It's a domino effect on how it affects special teams, how it affects your sub packages. It really, really gets difficult as the season goes on.
You credited your seniors, and what did you see out of them this week specifically?
Great leadership. I made a special point to our underclassmen to watch our seniors, to watch them how they handle adversity, to watch them how they responded this week in their preparation and their attitude, their energy. And don't just sit there and go through it as a young player. Learn. And I think that our guys did a tremendous job of showing that.
Charlie said he wanted to get Warren Herring involved, maybe give the rush a little juice.
Yeah, Warren has been, I'd say since about week 3 or 4, has just really come on, has been great in one-on-one pass rush drills, and wanted to give him a role. So there was a couple sub packages he was in on today and did a really nice job. He's a big guy that's got power, and he moves extremely well. With Lewis limited reps, it's been important for Tyler Dipple, Pat Muldoon, and now Warren to come along.
No Russell Wilson questions. Does that mean we've come to expect this out of him?
Yeah, it is amazing. We've just gone through this whole thing. He, to this day, does something every day that I just kind of am amazed at. But on the same account, it's not shocking. It's not surprising. His attitude, his energy. I know you guys tried to bait him down if he was in the last 2 phases. He made a comment to me, Coach Edmonds might be the most fun I've ever had in reference to the week against Ohio State in that game and that environment. The great thing is he is going to get rewarded for what he's doing. I mean, I know his dream was to be drafted in both sports, and every indication is that's going to be something that becomes a reality down the road. But he just embraces. I know he loves our fans. To play in this environment, this venue, there's nobody that was more excited to come play here than Russell.
Another follow-up on Russell. It was 52-17, you had him in lane, he runs a bootleg. You know some people are gonna look at that and go, why?
Yeah, well, we haven't been able to finish fourth quarter games the way we have. Russell wanted to get in one more series. I told Paul this is the last one. The naked was kind of there all day long. I did walk up to him before the play happened. I said, hey, I don't need a hero here. If you see any contact, I don't need to see All-American moves or Heisman-type moves. Just get yourself down and out of bounds.
You mentioned the bootleg there all day. Can you just describe what you saw in the bootleg where he scored?
Yeah, well, I know we have a couple people that watch for it, you know, and it was there, and obviously Paul had seen it too, and just good execution. Obviously, he can get it in.
Is it nice to smile after a game?
Well, it's just nice to, you know, get rewarded for a lot of hard work. We put a lot into those last 2 weeks, and you know, in this game, it's a hard profession. It's a hard job. I mean, if you don't win, you don't get that reward at the end of the week that you've worked so hard to get. So, again, this is just week one of a four-step phase for us to get through. We got to take it on a day-to-day approach, and our guys did that. Now we're into our you know, week of trying to protect and keep the axe.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you very much.
Yes.